Hey there friends, fans, and collectors. Welcome to another episode of Binary Sunset News. I am Mike, and this is our final week of Mando Mondays. I've really enjoyed covering these Hasbro releases with you for the last 8 weeks. It's been a ton of fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching the videos also, and I hope you've learned a lot. There's not a lot of reveals to go over this week, but they are some pretty cool figures, so let's jump right into it.
Commence primary ignition.
Hit the subscribe button below to get the best Star Wars news and reviews as soon as I make it. And even though this is our final week of Mando Mondays, still stay tuned here because I'll be having new newses that cover Star Wars collectibles and anything new in the Star Wars universe, as well as the ever-expanding Hasbro universe of toys. Several weeks ago in The Mandalorian, we were introduced to the live-action version of Bo-Katan Kryze and the rest of her remaining Night Owls that exist in the Mandalorian timeline. We knew as soon as we saw this character that we would be expecting a figure from her soon, and ta-da! Today, the list of reveals began with the Black Series Bo-Katan figure. This is the Black Series 6-inch figure, so it does come with a level of detail and design that we come to expect from the Black Series. Now, this is going to be in the Mandalorian spin-off, because that's where we saw her on the show, obviously. And there are some changes that I'd like to talk about in the figure that we're seeing versus the on-screen Bo-Katan that we've seen. Now, she does come with her uniquely painted armor and helmet, which looks really cool. She does have a fully removable helmet, which is nice to see. One thing of note, though, that I thought was interesting to do, her holsters and her kind of ammo packs that are on her waist that go for her pistols, they are a different shade and different hue of the leather on the figure. They kind of come off as this orange hue, you know, not the biggest deal, but it's a little bit of an interesting choice to kind of cartoon-esque the live-action figure. It almost resembles some of the tones that they're doing with the Credit Collection Black Series figures, so kind of the comic-esque look to it, but still a really cool-looking figure. I'm not quite sure why they made that change to it. Other than that, she is amazingly coming in for the first time debuted in her 6-inch scale. And seeing her, we are led to believe that we're going to see the other two members of her Night Owls. Last week I mentioned the return of the Star Wars Archive figures. Now these are Black Series figures that were previously released in other years, or fan voted on figures that are voted to resurface and be reissued. It's a really, really cool wave. We get one or two of them each year, and the second one of them was just announced today. These figures are going to come in line with the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, and that being so, they're going to have a special logo on them that denotes this 50-year anniversary. This second wave of Black Series Archive figures includes the Imperial Shore Trooper, the Imperial Death Trooper, the Imperial Hover Tank Commander, and a Tusken Raider. Now, these are great fan favorites. I'm not really sure why the Scarif Trooper has been changed to a Shore Trooper, because that's how we remember them. They first were seen on Rogue One on the shores of Scarif. And the Death Trooper is what was teased to us this past week in the reveal image. Another really cool addition to this is the Tusken Raider. Now, Tusken Raiders have been in the Star Wars universe since the first Star Wars movie, but they've seen great prominence in this last season of The Mandalorian. So any of us who are trying to complete our Mandalorian figure collections, it'll be great to add some Tuskens to that. These are some fun reveals. I think the only note I would have to make is that I am hoping that we're going to see these figures in the 375 scale on the Vintage Collection. We are severely lacking a lot of the figures that we were promised to be seen with the Razor Crest when it debuts next year. So let's hope that in that time they close that gap and we see a lot more 375. The Bo-Katan figure will go on sale today at 4 p.m. at Hasbro and across other retailers. I know Hasbro tends to sell out pretty quickly, but don't fret because there are other retailers out there like Entertainment Earth, Dorkside, and Big Bad Toy Store that offer these pre-orders also, and sometimes at a much better time frame. That'll about do it for this week of Mando Mondays. Thanks for tuning in here for another episode of Binary Sunset News. I am Mike. I really appreciate the views and the likes. Be sure to subscribe below if you haven't already done that. And even though Mando Mondays and the second season of The Mandalorian is coming to a close, be sure to stay tuned here where you'll find the best Star Wars news and reviews as soon as I make them. Have a great day out there, stay safe, stay sane, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.